Good afternoon, students. Now let us move on to the next topic, that is regulation of glycogenesis and glycogenolysis. So in the last class we focused regarding the degradation of glycogen molecule. So what are the methods or the mechanism which are involved in the regulation of this glycogenolysis and as well as glycogenesis? So what is this metabolic regulation of glycogen levels? Why we have to regulate this glycogen? So you all know that glycogen, which is going to act as a storage form in case of animals. So this is the most immediately available larger source of metabolic energy, whereas its storage and utilization is under the dietary and hormonal control. So both glycogenesis and glycogenolysis sorry are mainly controlled by the very important enzymes, that is glycogen synthase in case of glycogenesis and as well as glycogen phosphorylase, as we have already seen in the last classes. So these two enzymes plays a very important role in carrying out this process. So there are mainly three mechanisms which you can come across under this regulation. First is allosteric regulation, second hormonal regulation, and what will be the influence of the calcium ions on this particular by regulating these enzymes. So first we will see what is this allosteric regulation in case of this glycogen metabolism. So as you all know that certain metabolites which are allosterically regulated by the activities of the enzyme glycogen synthase and as well as glycogen phosphorylase. So these metabolites are going to involve in the regulation of the activities of the enzyme, that is both the enzymes, very important enzymes in case of synthesis and degradation, glycogen synthase and glycogen phosphorylase. So this glycogen synthesis is going to be increased only when the substrate is available and when the energy levels are in high, right? When the energy levels are high and as well as substrate availability is more, then the glycogen synthesis is going to be increased. So when this glycogenolysis is going to be enhanced, same way, that is when glucose concentration and as well as energy levels are low, that is going to happen, that is in the well fed state, as we have already seen in the last classes I discussed with respect to this starvation condition and as well as well fed state. The availability of this glucose 6 phosphate is going to be high, which is going to activate this enzyme glycogen synthase allosterically for the process of glycogen synthesis. In this way, the glycogenesis is going to be enhanced or increased, that is during the well fed state condition. Understanding? So what is this hormonal regulation? How you can control this glycogen metabolism or regulate this glycogen metabolism hormonally? So these hormones, as you all know, through a complex series of reactions which will bring about covalent modifications, especially what we have discussed in the case of pyruvate kinase, covalent modifications and PDH, pyruvate dehydrogenase, that is nothing but phosphorylation and as well as dephosphorylating the particular enzyme proteins, right? So which ultimately controls this glycogen synthesis as well as degradation. That is, by phosphorylation, phosphorylated form is always inactive, please remember, dephosphorylated form is active. In these cases both will be reverse in case of glycogen synthesis and degradation. So this, by covalently modifying the enzyme under these two process, that is phosphorylation and dephosphorylation, you can ultimately control this synthesis, glycogen synthesis, and as well as degradation. So the main other hormones like epinephrine, norepinephrine, and glucagon in case of liver, which is going to activate this adenyl cyclase enzyme, which will help you in the increased production of cyclic AMP molecule, and the enzyme phosphodiesterase, which will help you in breakdown of the cyclic AMP. Whereas the hormone insulin, which is going to increase the phosphodiesterase activity in case of liver, and it is going to lower the cyclic AMP levels. These are all the things that is generally I have already discussed in the last classes. So just brushing up. So it is going to increase the phosphodiesterase activity and in case of liver, and it is going to lower the cyclic AMP levels. So first we will see this how the glycogenesis can be regulated by cyclic AMP molecule. So you can see in this slide, it is very easy to understand. This is mainly regulated by the enzyme, that is glycogen synthase. You are going to regulate this enzyme glycogen synthase in order to control the glycogenesis process to happen. So as you all know, just now I have brushed up about the hormones glucagon and as well as epinephrine. Glucagon in case of liver, epinephrine in case of both liver and muscles. So this is going to activate this adenyl cyclase enzyme, where inactive form can be converted into active form. This activated adenyl cyclase enzyme in turn activates cyclic AMP molecule, which is acted upon by phosphodiesterase enzyme. So where you can see here the formation, this particular cyclic AMP is going to activate the cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase, which is in the inactive form getting activated, that is cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase, that is active form. So this activated form, cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase A, that is activated cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase active form, is involved in carrying out the phosphorylation reaction. So that is glycogen synthase A. So you can see here this glycogen synthase is going to exist mainly in the two forms, that is glycogen synthase A, which is not phosphorylated one, and it is most active form of the enzyme, whereas glycogen synthase B, it is a phosphorylated form and it is an inactivated form. So you can see the conversion of glycogen synthase A to B, that is active to inactive form by phosphorylating, that is phosphorylation. So this active form will be undergoing phosphorylation to convert it into inactive form, that is glycogen synthase B. You can make out the phosphate group which is attached to that, that is the inactive form. That inactive form, if you are converting active to inactive form, of course glycogenesis can be inhibited, right? Again, if you have to convert it back to active form, so the main enzyme which is involved here is protein phosphatase 1. After that is dephosphorylating, that is by the removal of phosphate group from this inactive form of the enzyme, converting back to active form. In turn, you can see here it is converting back to active form, that is synthase A, glycogen synthase A, where the glycogenesis process can happen. So for inhibition process, you have to convert active form to the inactive form of the enzyme by phosphorylation. So this is how you can regulate this enzyme which is involved in glycogenesis process, that is a very important enzyme. And this inhibition of this particular glycogenesis can also be brought about by this epinephrine and also norepinephrine hormone. I have already explained you. So coming for the next, that is regulation of glycogenolysis, that is going to happen, that is also a cyclic AMP mediated one. So you can make out in this slide. It is very easy to understand with this. So here also the hormones like epinephrine as well as glucagon, which brings glycogenolysis mainly by their action on glycogen phosphorylase through the cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase enzyme, right? It is also cyclic AMP mediated process. So this glycogen phosphorylase is also going to exist in two forms, that is an active form, that is A form, phosphorylated one. Just you understand the difference here. What we discussed in the last slide, that is glycogenesis, their glycogen synthase A is in active form, that is not phosphorylated one, dephosphorylated. Here an active A form is phosphorylated one, inactive B form is dephosphorylated, right? Understanding? So if you see this particular process which is happening in case of glycogenolysis, yes, glycogenolysis, sorry, I have made 2 times this particular glycogen synthesis slide. Just go through this. Okay, so here you can make out what I said, that is A form phosphorylated, inactive form B form, that is dephosphorylated one. So this cyclic AMP which is going to activate cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase, as we have seen in case of glycogenesis process, same like that. Here glucagon hormone in case of liver as well as epinephrine, liver and muscles. So you can make out which is activating this adenyl cyclase enzyme, inactive to active form. Then this activated adenyl cyclase acting upon cyclic AMP molecule, this is formed from ATP, right? So this cyclic AMP is acted upon this cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase, which is an inactive form, getting activated, that is cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase active form. Then this active form which has been activated, that is cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase active form, which is activating, now it is activating the phosphorylase kinase. Just try to understand before going to glycogen phosphorylase, that is phosphorylase kinase inactive form is undergoing phosphorylation, that is acted upon by enzyme calmodulin phosphorylase. So this calmodulin phosphorylase has been activated by cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase. So in turn it activates this inactive form of phosphorylase kinase to active form, that is phosphorylase kinase active form. You can see here the phosphorylase kinase enzyme is in phosphorylated one is in active form. Sorry. So this kinase has been also can be activated by calcium ions. So this is a calcium mediated enzyme, that is calmodulin phosphorylase. So this phosphorylated active form of this phosphorylase kinase in turn activates this glycogen phosphorylase B, that is inactive form. Please try to understand. Glycogen phosphorylase B is an inactive form. In turn it is getting activated to glycogen phosphorylase A, that is an active form, which has been again phosphorylated one. Whereas glycogen synthase A was in active form, right? So here glycogen phosphorylase B is in inactive form and it is getting activated by this phosphorylase kinase active form of the enzyme to converting this glycogen phosphorylase B inactive to glycogen phosphorylase A active form. Understanding? In turn, this glycogen molecule, this activated form glycogen phosphorylase A is involved in the glycogenolysis process. In turn, it is going to activate your glycogenolysis. But how you can regulate this? If you deactivate this, that is converting phosphorylated form to dephosphorylated one. In turn, you can regulate this process, that is catalyzed by which enzyme? That is protein phosphatase. In turn, this glycogen phosphorylase B inactive form is involved in complete regulating this glycogenolysis process. Understanding? So now you can see how the effect of calcium ions on particular glycogenolysis process. So when you all know that when the muscle is getting contracted, calcium ions are going to be released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum. So this calcium, which is going to bind to the calmodulin calcium binding protein or modulating protein, which in turn directly it activates this phosphorylase kinase enzyme without the involvement of cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase. Try to understand, without the involvement of cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase. So it can directly activate this phosphorylase kinase only when calcium has been released from the sarcoplasmic reticulum, and then it is going and binding to calmodulin calcium binding protein or modulating protein. Then only it can directly activate this enzyme phosphorylase kinase without the involvement of cyclic AMP dependent protein kinase. So this an elevated concentration of this hormones, that is glucagon or the epinephrine levels, which can also increase glycogen degradation. But whereas if you come for the insulin hormone, elevated level of the insulin, it only results in increased glycogen synthesis. So how these hormones are going to play a role, I have already discussed in long back. So this glucagon hormone and as well as insulin hormone, how it is going to help you in the process carrying out, that is increasing the production of this glycogen synthesis, as well as how it increases the degradation process. This how the hormonal regulation as well as calcium ions which are going to act on these enzymes in order to bring about or control the enzymes of glycogenesis and glycogenolysis process. Thank you.